We talked about we're in the month of June, and the word that we were going to embrace or learn to embrace is the word intentional. If you don't have the definition, I would like for you to look it up. And if you have it, when you have it, please stand. And I want to welcome all of those in that across the nation and those that are part of our virtual campus. We're going to deal with the scripture, John 15:2, and what we're going to do is expand it and elaborate on how it affects us in today's time. I think the media team just put up doubt versus truth. And that scripture would really come out of 1 Corinthians, but I'll go ahead and read John 15:2. John 15:2 says, he cuts off every branch of mine that doesn't produce fruit. And this is out of the New Living Translation. And he prunes the branches that do bear fruit so they will produce even more. And we were dealing with the new series, Conflict at the Cliff. We know the original series we started out with in year one was Closing the Circle. And we're still somewhat there. And the producers talked about, don't gamble with your future. So I added a couple caveats to that. Don't gamble with your inheritance. Now, the word that we're going to start with in this month is intentional, and the word would bleed over to this. You're going to have to find your identity. What is it that you're gifted or good at or want to pursue? Here comes the problem in 1 Corinthians 14:33, where the Bible says that God is not the author of confusion, because we had a question, and that question was, is it God? Is it me? Is it the enemy? So when you and I are facing conflict and having difficult times, many times we think God is working against us, or God doesn't love us, or God is chastising us. Sometimes all of those can be true, but not all the time are they true. Because see, he says this because we have to understand the nature between God and the creation. We are the creation, the creature that was made by God. So and I'll say this to us, God always has a stake in his best investment. There are many people that would wonder and say, well, why don't God just leave me alone? Why don't God just get out of my way? Why does God even care about me or bother me? And agnostics and those that are atheists, God has invested in you. No matter how much science, and I believe in science, and no matter how much logic they have, if you study what they say, they'll use these terms. They'll say, we think, or we have a theory. God is matter of fact. Now, what the church did not do, they looked at God as just a creator. But to create what God created, he had to have a level of science in his deity. God is intentional. They would say in the science world that science is factual. Don't have a problem with that. But here's the thing. Nothing can claim the breath of humanity but God. Nothing. Not our pain, not our anger, not our insight, not science, because every time they still don't know the end of the galaxy. The Bible tells us that God knows how many stars are up there. So what happens is we have to understand that God has an investment in you. No matter how you feel about yourself, no matter what you're doing with yourself, no matter where you are in your life, God has a stake, a literally investment in you. It doesn't matter how much you hate yourself. God still has a stake in you, and he is going to check on his interests. See, there's another level that could be taught out of this. John 15, this particular translation says, he cuts off every branch in a mind that doesn't produce. See, you cannot sit around in life and not produce. This is why this gives credence to the Old Testament when the Lord said that I will bless your hands. See, here's what people don't understand. When God created the earth and when God spoke to the earth, God told the earth to bring forth. Many people today are trying to bring everything to themselves. But if you use the levels of the earth will bring you more, where you will have an abundance to live, but you keep working where someone can control your resources. And as long as other people can control your resources, if you look at wars, everything is not about we disagree. Most wars are about controlling another's resources. Oil, minerals, jewelry, copper. When you can control the resources, then you can control the identity. And many people are more concerned about their pictures than their substance. Many people are more concerned about how they look, what title you're going to use. And they literally have no substance. So there's a couple words I'm going to give you, and then we're going to move on and get ready for the food bank. The word for this month is intentional. Now, why intentional? We had the number 4, which means create your world. And we had the month of May, which God gives you grace, which hopefully you planted a seed. Something you should be. See, here's the thing. And I wrote this down. We listen to too much noise. We listen and participate in too many conversations that are not productive. I'm going to show you something here. The question will become then, what is your mind filled with? The topic tonight is doubt versus truth. And this is going to sound odd, but I'm finally discovering why some people are literally confused and lost. They are full of things that does not produce anything, watch this now, for their intellect and intelligence. Let me make this plain. What you listen to. Now let me talk about why we're listening. Whether it's a TV program, whether it's a reality show, whether it's music, whatever you listen to controls 80 to 95% of your thinking. Let me give you some examples. Because why are you listening to something that only deals with your feelings? Why are you listening to something that only deals with your pain? Why are you listening to something that only makes you feel good? Why are you listening to something that feeds your low self-esteem? Why are you watching chaos because chaos breeds chaos? Because none of that feeds your intellect and intelligence. Let me take it a step further. Why do you rarely, you always are on your phone, social media, something, just always on, just always on. How much of what you read is true? How much? What is it feeding? Doubt is in conflict with the truth. So then when you look at Corinthians, 1 Corinthians 14 and 33, if God is not the author of confusion, how can you maximize your life if you're full of stuff that doesn't produce anything for your life? Let me take it a step further. I would love for people this month, in the month of challenges. Now, the biblical numerical number means evil and challenge. I would like for you to have 2 jars, really 3. Every time you hear something negative, put a penny in one jar. Every time you say something negative, put a penny in the other jar. Every time you hear something positive, put a nickel in that jar. Because most of what people are listening to, it feeds their doubt, denial, their emotions, their feelings, and it's like an antidote. It's like smoking a joint. It takes their mind off of the issue, but it never changes the issue. Doubt is in conflict with the truth. I recommend in this month that you find something on social media, you find something on YouTube, you find something that feeds these 3 things: your spirit in God, your intellect, and your intelligence. I would just like for you to do it for 30 days. And I promise you, your environment will change. Ask me why. You will no longer speak the language of the defeated or those that are in denial or those that keep avoiding the truth. So when I studied this, I said to myself, I don't understand it, because people pulling up beside me, and I remember being young, but these were not all young people, and everything was just loud and kaboom, and the thought came, confusion. It is feeding the pain, it's comforting the misery, but it's not changing the situation. And if God is coming to do work on you and I, do you not think, and do I not think, it is better if we cut some things out of our lives? Say it a little louder. Than he do. If you and I take out the trash, it's a lot less trash that God has to clean up. Because when he comes, because he has a stake in you. So you don't have to like him. Okay? And let me make it plain. And I'm going to be an agitator right now. Science cannot keep your breath. When God says, give it back, you cannot keep it another second. They can put you on all kinds of ventilators, but they'll come back and say, your brain dead. They'll come back and say, your flesh is starting to rot. When God takes that, it's not a whole lot left. So why are you in conflict with God? Because God has a stake in you. And what the enemy does in 1 Corinthians 14 and 33 is he tries to taint you and change your appetite before you get a chance to get right with God. He gives you some old backwood kind of just funky, kind of stupid, kind of. It's just like, and I ain't mad at nobody because I'm in so much pain right now. I might need some medical marijuana. I ain't mad. Listen, I had a super Christian, super Christian. Was in so much pain, thought he had MS, and just just don't believe in just their way. I don't want to pick a fight because I know if I say what I say, somebody will want to pick a fight, but that's okay. And so he was in so much pain. Now, I've known the man for over 40 years, and he said, man, I had to get me a doctor, and he was a preacher too. And he said, I had to get me a doctor in California because he was in so much pain that they started shipping him medical marijuana. And just the tip of it would have him forget his pain. And I said, you? Yeah, Reggie, it got bad, man. It got bad. Now, he told me this when he was down. And he went to MSC, or whatever it is, Medical University of Charleston, or whatever down there. And there's this one, two specific doctors who are phenomenal. And they do surgery all over the world. And the guy told him, he said, before you ever come in and do an x-ray, I can tell you it's something between your 5 and 6. And it's out of line and, da-da-da. He said, you don't have MS. Anyway, he went down, had surgery, relieved, doing a whole lot better. Now, after about 10, 15 years of this. So I went to see him a couple of weeks ago. And I said, you still doing marijuana? Well, what do you mean? I never did marijuana. I said, now you talking to me. I said, now, you and I have known each other for 40 years. And I took him back, and he said, yeah, Reggie, I did. I said, so why you being a hypocrite about it? See, once the pain is gone, you forget the lesson. Anybody have ever had a mosquito bite, and as soon as you put something on it, alcohol or some kind of thing, you forget about it? See, when God comes and starts cutting on you, you forget that it's an investment in you. So you walk out on God, and God is, and I was cutting trees today, and here's the thing. There was one tree I did not cut. That tree gave me the worstest time. Because everything on the outside was hard and crusty and only half done because it was still connected to something dead. So I had to really bear down on that tree to cut it to nothing because I didn't cut the dead things in the winter. And so while I'm out there now trying not to get stung by bees, because I got beat up by bees the last time. Let me put it real country. When bees get in your britches, your business about to go down. So last year I got attacked by some bees. I didn't cut that bush this year. I said, I don't care nothing about that bush. I'm gonna let that bush stay over there. But the tree that I cut, it was just healthy, and it took the cutting. And so here's the thing. The one that I said, well, I know I didn't cut that one. And when I cut it, there was nothing on the inside of it. It looked just like it did in the wintertime. It could not produce. If you will not let the hand of God be in your life, you will never amount to what God has invested in you. And let me give you the second word. And I'm going to show you something here, and I'm going to let you go because we got to put cans together. What you listen to with your eyes and ears have a huge effect on what you crave. I want to challenge you to listen and read this month. In the month of challenges, I want you to be intentional. Let me tell you why. When you start, whatever it is, if it's flowers, whatever it is that you're interested in, your vocabulary will change. Because I received something about vision the other day, and I had a chance to listen to about a minute of it. And it said, once you have vision, watch this, then the next thing after vision is you learn the disciplines in order to fulfill that vision. So now I'm understanding why some people are the way they are. They have no vision. Some people don't know what they want to be. They don't know if they want to go to school. They don't know. You have no vision. You are stuck in the moment. See, to have vision comes with a set of disciplines. Can I use you as an example, sir? When you decided that the meals were no longer for you. I heard you at the funeral bragging. I'm surprised you didn't call your college out. Clam, son. You know, I'm surprised you didn't try to, clam, son. I'm surprised you didn't try to throw it out. You know, I went to college. And,
I was trying to do an example.
He was trying to do it, but he used himself. But now, come on, I ain't mad at you. But now, when you went to school, your language had to change from the manufacturing. And you worked in the mill. So when you went to school, you had to make a sacrifice. And now you've been with your present company how many years?
33.
And most of the meals are what? They're gone. Except for one. So how many meals at one time was in this area, you all think? Maybe 10 to 15 meals in this area. See, God gives every one of us a chance to shift. But see, some of us are happy in the moment, and we can't see down the road. That's what vision does. And when you see vision, you realize you have to change now so you can be prepared for later. See, if you're listening to certain things, as they would say, certain genres of music and all of that and this, that, and the other, it has you where you was or it keeps you where you at. You need to listen to something inaudible. You need to look at something that's going to feed your spirit, your intellect, and intelligence. This is what it says. What? Every single moment. What? Every single moment. So when I'm sitting here, come on, put me on the screen. We're going to come back to this in a minute. When I'm sitting here, body, and all that, 100 and all that, y'all mean and all, how far does that move me? Nowhere. Look at it. Some of them laughing in their mask. You know, when I'm like, yeah. And what I wanted to say earlier, and I asked the media team, and they said doubt versus conflict. Was that it? Doubt versus truth? Doubt versus truth was the one to use. I wanted to mention this, and I'm going to throw this in here. We all need to stop using this word. You know what that word is? Maybe. You cannot do nothing. Thank you. Maybe you can. Maybe it's not a plan. It got really quiet in here now. It's not a, I might. Might is not a plan. Might and maybe are two things you need to take out of your vocabulary. I might come. Done with you. Well, maybe I go. Done with you. Anything 50-50, leave it alone. Because what you listen to will often keep you where you've been. You're going to have to find something. Audible, I'm probably going to get Audible as much as I travel on the road. Of course, I hate to spend the money, but because I need to feed my intellect. I need to feed my intelligence. I need to feed my spirit. The Bible talks about think as though those things were. If you feed your spirit, and here's the thing, it's not coming to you, you've got to go to it. Right now, the three main things is intentional, vision, and discipline. Remember I said attitude is the gatekeeper. If you got an old rotten, stinking attitude, or you've been listening to something that will put you in that old funky mood you in, you know, some of us got that old hazy kind of funky mood. You know, we got that old look at you like I'm crazy kind of mood. You say, what? Huh? Say that again. You don't know me. Got mighty quiet in the sanctified room. So somebody know you in your mood right now. You in your spell. Spells steal time. What's the slide you just had up? Every single what? Moment. Every moment that you're stuck out there, or I'm stuck out there with something that does not feed my spirit, my intellect, and intelligence. And remember, God has a stake in you. And he wants to see his investment and the gift that he has given you grow beyond. This is why John 15, he cutteth everything. Not only spiritual, not only things that I need to get rid of spiritually, but also things in my life that are unproductive conversation. You know, because some of us are drama queens. And I'm speaking to males too. Some of us like Lifetime. Be crying. Hey, Bobby left Susie again. I don't know why. Susie was good. Bobby left Susie again. He left Susie for Maybell again. He just came back last week. What's Psalms 33? Huh? I don't know. But you know about Bob and Susie and Maybell. And none of that will push you forward. So in this month of challenges, and this is just day one. Anybody have a challenging day? I mean, I don't think Satan went to sleep last night. Hat monkey got up today. I almost went back to the old me. I said, I made Mother Spencer, I made her a vow. I'm trying to hold on, Jesus. But I feel it, something calling me and taking me back, Jesus. And that ain't the Holy Ghost. You have to. These are the words. We're getting ready to let you go. We got to move some cash. He cut it off. So you have to know, is it God? Is God coming into my atmosphere to restructure me and to redevelop me? But I want you in this month, I want you to pray and don't ask nobody. Don't go to no prophet. Don't go to no prophetess this month. I want you to seek God and ask God for vision for your life. Lord, what did you call me to be? What level of skills? Show me what you've given me. Now, let me help you out. When he sends it, he's not going to put it in your hand. It's not going to come prepackaged. More than likely, it's going to come with a dream. It's going to come with a vision. It's going to come as a seed. It's going to come as an idea. You can't pray. You can't pray and ask God. You know, somebody prayed for transportation and somebody invented the car. See, you're asking God for a finished product. And if it was finished, you wouldn't be ready for it. Let me give you this. You have to grow along as your gift grows. But if you refute knowledge, you refute constructive information. People call it constructive criticism. I don't believe in that. It's if it makes you better, what's wrong with it? Excellent. I just want to do it the way I want to do it. But what you're doing is not the best practice. There's someone that can show you how to get there faster, quicker. Certain machinery, certain equipment now can do what used to take weeks to do. Automation is taking over the industry of manufacturing because everything can be, not everything, but some things can be automated now. Because when the machine breaks down, they change a part. When a human breaks down, they got to continue to pay them. Automation, are you all seeing it? You seeing it? Automation. Like, oh, you did that be the whole bill. It's hot over here. Don't worry about it. You're going to stay hot over there. They over there building automation. Am I right? And you sitting here, I told somebody I don't understand it. There are some people that are working for $10 an hour, and they don't understand they can work less hours and make more money. But they don't understand that. We did the math. Someone would pay you $10 an hour, and $10 an hour, how many? You would have to work 10 hours to make $100, right? Somebody pay you $37.50 an hour, and you only work 4. That's $200. So you just cut out 6, but you can't comprehend that. Because you know why? You're feeding what you like, and you're feeding your comfort zone, when if you were to feed your intellect and intelligence, you would know I can work for this person for 4 hours and make $37.50 an hour and have $200. I would have to work 10 hours. That gives me 6 hours back to go do what I need to do. Because some people think the other person's ice is colder. And they're going to work you $10 an hour for 10 hours to make what? $100? $200? What is it? I ain't good at math. Come on. And you can work for somebody for 4 hours and make $37.50, gives you 6 hours to go do something else. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, make $100 in 10 hours, $10 an hour. That makes sense? So the 3 things that we're going to leave you with is the word intentional, vision. Vision brings discipline. I heard the late Dr. Miles Monroe say it this way. Vision tells you what not to do. Vision tells you what paths not to go down. This is what vision will tell you. He said, because when you find out what God's vision is for you, then you will know the roads that doesn't take you to the vision. And I'm saying to you, in this month, now is the time to start working on you. And you and I must be intentional. We don't need a might. We don't need a maybe. A might and a maybe is connected to 1 Corinthians 14:33. God is not the author of confusion. You should be intentional every day. Did anyone have the definition of intentional? I had it, but I'd probably take me a minute to find it. The definition of intentional. Because we use it Sunday. So God is intentional with the direction that he wants to take you. But are you in tune with God? Watch what you listen to and remember. You need to this month start listening to something that feeds your intellect, your intelligence, and your spirit. And I promise you, it will dull your appetite for the things that just comfort you. Anybody have intentional?
Intentional. When you are intentional, you choose to make decisions and take action on what's important to you. Being intentional means getting clear up front about what you want to achieve.
Now, what did we just say the most 2 dangerous words in this month is? Might and maybe. You cannot be productive and successful if you're always talking about, I may go. Or maybe. I might. I don't know. Just say, yeah, that's my whole point. But see, you don't want no conflict. The brothers over here laugh. You don't want no conflict. You don't want nobody to judge you. Come on, you don't want nobody to judge you. If I say something, they're going to judge you, brother. They're going to judge me. Y'all, I mean, you know what I'm saying, man? What's the word? Body, I'm 100. You know, all that. All the stuff the young people tell me not to use.
Active form of it. Done on purpose or deliberate.
Done on purpose. See, this month, if you want to combat the challenges of the enemy, you're going to have to do some things on purpose. And when you do that, a lot of people not going to like you. They not going to like you. They not going to like you. They going to talk about you. They not going to like you. And you know what that means? There's one less person that's in your way to move forward. God bless you. I'll see you soon.